Hi, I'm Denise Gartrell, President and CEO of More Than a Woman. With me today, I have Alita Alston Torre, and she is the co-leader of Free Marissa Now organization, of which I am a member. Today, we have decided to get together and collaborate on this video because we are in collaboration for a very, very special and powerful effort that will take place on January 28th in Jacksonville, Florida. We have a People's Movement Assembly that is in honor of Black Women's Lives Matter. On this date and in this assembly, we have a group of very, very powerful, dynamic, and astounding women who will join us in this particular effort. And Alita is going to give you a little bit more information about who will join us and why we're actually doing this particular assembly. Again, this is in honor of Black Women's Lives Matter and the Free Marissa Now organization. What many of you, before I give it to Alita, what many of you are not aware of is that on January 27th, Marissa Alexander does go back to court. She's currently incarcerated. She's scheduled to appear in court on January 27th, where she'll go before the judge, and then she may still face 8 years of prison time. Again, she still may face 8 years, from what we have been told, of prison time. We will not stop until Marissa Alexander is free. We will not stop until Marissa Alexander is a household name in every house across America and abroad. We need to let the injustice be known of the sentencing guidelines, and that Black women lives matter as well. So far, we have seen all across this country and abroad protesting, demonstrations about the injustice and the police killings of Eric Garner, of Trayvon Martin, of Jordan Davis, and more. But it seems that the women who have been also affected by the criminal justice system in a very unjust way when it comes to sentencing and other dynamics of the system, we have kind of fallen in the background. We want to change that because women, and Black women in particular, our lives matter also. We want to see that same passion, that same fervor, that same outrage even across the country and abroad when it comes to cases such as Marissa Alexander being sentenced or attempting to sentence her to 60 years in prison for shooting into a wall to ward off an abusive husband. That is ridiculous. That is outrageous. That is something that we must continue to address because there are many more Marissa Alexanders out there.
That's right.
And they're incarcerated. If we're not their voices, they will not be heard. So we must put this People's Assembly together. And we have a group of dynamic women who have decided to dedicate and to volunteer their time, their energy, and their efforts to this People's Movement Assembly in Jacksonville, Florida on January 28th. Alita, if you will just enlighten us on the ladies who will be joining us and basically what basically some of their accomplishments.
Sure, definitely. Professor and attorney Kimberly Crenshaw. She's not only a professor at UCLA, but also at Columbia Law. She is in charge of the African American Policy Institute. Heavy hitters, you know. And, and what she does there is one initiative is Why We Can't Wait. When we talk about My Brother's Keeper, which is a policy that came out from Obama, there was a place within our families, and mine included, where I do have a young black boy, but I also have a young black girl.
Yes.
So Why We Can't Wait talks about where do we go with our young girls.
Right.
And she also does some work, African American Institute, Policy Institute, does work with the cases, state violence, and key, what we call, case studies. We also have attorney Kerry McLean from the National Lawyers Guild, and I mean the board of the National Lawyers Guild in New York, who has taken her time to get on a plane several times to help free Marissa now to come down here to Jacksonville. And she's done some trainings with us on Know Your Rights. She's done some work around us with legal observing. She's also right now as an activist, human rights activist, helping in Ferguson as legal support. So we're glad to have her back also. We also have the Dr. Faye Williams. Dr. Faye Williams is no stranger to Free Marissa now. She is the director of the National Congress of Black Women. And she came around when we put together the Dignity Walk. If you had saw us on with the Democracy Now, we walked from Jacksonville, Florida, all the way to Sanford when the Zimmerman verdict came out, and Dr. Faye was there with us.
Excellent.
She has chapters all over, and like I said, she has been here to Jacksonville before for Standing Our Ground Week, where she made sure to go into City Hall and go to the mayor's office, which is a black mayor, to talk about why and where we are with the state and city for supporting Marissa. The next speaker we have is Professor Rose Brewer. Rose Brewer is from the University of Minnesota. She is known for the Social Forum, U.S. Social Forum, and what that means is this is why we are on board with the People's Movement Assembly, meaning all voices need to be heard. That is why it's assembly. They're going to frame the questions, but Rose Brewer has been helping us to put this People's Assembly together because the state of violence nationwide is where it is, and what they're doing for the U.S. Social Forum, we're very thankful for her, as well as the college campus supports that she's been helping us put together, and the Southern Freedom Movement, who's a member. Then there's Professor Beth Ritchie. Beth Ritchie is the University of Chicago professor. She is also with the Project NIA and Insight, and these sisters, if I can say, have helped us to frame the work around this. And then there's her book, right? The Arrested Justice. Black Woman, Violence, and America's Prison Nation. It's helped us to say there is more meat on this question. There is more information that we got to put out, and we're really thankful for her for doing the book signing in Jacksonville, Florida, and at the library for Jacksonville, Florida, and putting that book into our system here in the library and donating the book. So Beth Ritchie will also be back as well, and we want to also welcome all those that are coming all over the country, but there's also those sisters that came up with hashtag Black Lives Matter. So they're here for hashtag Black Women's Lives Matter, and this is going to be phenomenal. And our goals, just briefly, are number one, articulate a set of actions for political change and this struggle. That's number one. Number two, documenting the domestic violence and sexual abuse epidemic. Number three, how did we become the backseat discussion of Black Lives Matter? Outlining the struggle of the plea bargaining amongst Black women nationwide, Black women sheroes and their work since emancipation, and lastly, economic exploitation, and that is through our jobs, through our work, through our children, our family, state, and federal programmings and prisons.
Powerful. Powerful. As you can see, this is going to be a dynamic forum. I'm excited. I can barely wait to, first of all, meet these history makers, these trendsetters, these powerful, dynamic, influential leaders that are going to be joining us here, right here in Duval County, in Jacksonville, Florida. Again, January 28th is the date. We will be at the WJCT broadcasting station in Jacksonville, but in order for us to secure the actual station or the studio, we need your help. And here is where you come in. We need to secure the studio, but that costs money. As anything, it costs money. We have these powerful women, black women, who are going to be coming here to Jacksonville, Florida. And, as myself, we are not getting a salary for this. We are not doing this because we're getting outstanding speaking salaries or fees for this. We're doing this because we are passionate about the movement. We are passionate about sending the message nationwide on this broadcast to let the world know that Black women lives matter. That's why we're doing it. And we're collaborating as sisters, as African American women across this nation. Because, see, there is power in numbers. That's why we need you. The way that you can actually help support this effort is to go to our crowdfunding website located at www. If you hold that sign up, let's make sure we get that in there, Alita. Because I want to make sure, hold it up just a little bit more. And let's make sure we put it this way. Okay, can you see that? www.gofundme.com/Free Marissa Now TV. I'll repeat that. Go to this webpage, support this effort. These women are coming here from all across the United States of America in order to make sure that Jacksonville, Florida is lit up on January 28th. Because we are not coming here playing. These are heavy hitters that are coming here to this city. And we want to make sure that we get the message out that we will no longer stand for the injustice that is being shown to Black women across this country. This is not just about Duval County. Although Marissa Alexander is the poster face. But this is about injustice that is done to one, is injustice that is done to all. Go to the website www.gofundme.com/Free Marissa Now TV. We need your help to make this happen. We have to secure funds in order to make sure that we are putting a deposit, first of all, to reserve this studio space. And then secondly, to make sure that we are going to make sure that this People's Movement Assembly occurs. It's going to happen. But we need your help in order to do it. Will you help to send the message? When you help, you're also saying that Black women's lives matter. We are our sister's keeper. You talked about President Obama putting forth that a brother's keeper, but we are our sister's keeper. We have to stand up for each other, ladies. I know that men are, very passionate about this as well, and men have joined forces with us. But as sisters, we've got to start sticking together. We've got to start supporting one another. We have got to make collaborative efforts because, again, there is power in numbers. You see us two sitting here today? We've come together to collaborate our efforts. I'm Denise Gartrell. This is Alita Alston Toure, and we are sending the message that Black Lives Matters. Go to that website and also join us in the message. We appreciate you, and we're thanking you in advance. God bless you, and we'll talk to you soon.